Hi guys, welcome back to Hither Green TMD in O gauge. Hopefully you'll see an improvement in the lighting. I bought some lights to hopefully brighten things up in here. The room is quite dark, the light on the fan is rubbish, and I've just had my fluorescent light LED thing that is my camping light, which I've used to lighten up the layout for photos, etc. So hopefully this will be an improvement. I've actually got the blinds open today, which makes a change. This is one of the issues with having the layout under the window, not on the opposite side of the wall to the window, so I can't use the natural light to illuminate things. So anyway, today's video is about making the insulators for the Telegraph poles so that I'll be able to finally get them permanently fitted into the layout. I may have an issue with one of the LEDs. It may have blown or a wire shorted. I was having issues when I was testing it the other day, so I may have a dodgy one and I'll have to strip a light and see if I can rebuild it, or we'll get my multimeter out and check it at some stage shortly. But anyway, so today's video, onto the workbench to make the insulators. Join you on the bench in a sec. Right, so what are we going to need? Obviously we've got our two lights, one of which I've noticed I've made an error on and have chopped off the additional rail. I only require the one on the second light of my two. Two of these wires went to the clock and the others were just for the lights. So some little bits of styrene rod and some, just if I can get hold of it, some of that brass wire. And scalpel, preferably with a nice sharp blade. Mine's going to be covered in glue and blunt, and a small 1mm drill bit in the pin vise. I reckon I need the main body of the insulator, which is going to be this, and that's about 2.5mm possibly. It's actually two half round pieces put together. I've had some what I thought was excellent, some styrene tube, because then I could just stick the brass wire in the end, but this is far too fat. So I've had some half round which I've glued together to make a round, and some smaller, that's about 1.5mm sort of size, and that is just going to be a tiny bit of that used to shape this. So I'm going to cut these according to the scale on the edge. My ruler's disappeared somewhere where I've been working outside, so you can't quite see, but I'm going to be cutting. I need 2 for this one, 2 for that one, and 3 to go on there, so 7 altogether. About 1/8 of an inch long, which I'm using the scale on the side of the cutting mat. And basically, I'll just bring it here, just roll it backwards and forwards. Okay, it's got a slight hard part in, and try not to lose it. 1 insulator, and I reckon that will be about the right size in comparison to the bar for the main body. So I'm going to cut 7 more of those, and I'll be back with you. So here we have the 7 insulators. What I'm now going to do is drill a hole as close to the middle as possible with the pin vise, 1mm drill bit, and this will be to feed the wire into. Now what doesn't help here is the glue in the middle where I've joined the two halves together. It's just fighting it. But I'm going to get hold of my pliers to make it easier. They're here somewhere, possibly. Yeah. Because holding it in my fingers isn't going to work. So, hold it nice and straight. And steer the drill as close as possible down the middle of the plastic. So So really in there, just see that little hole in the middle. And we'll repeat that for each of these. I drilled all the way through that one and it's split, but that's fine because I have plenty more, so I'll just cut another one off. A bit of rod that I made. One replacement, not a problem. I just drilled that a little bit too far through it and it split down the seam. Obviously the glue hadn't taken that one completely, so there we go. Two. And I'll come back when I've done them all, you don't need to watch all of them. Right, so now we have the 7 insulators, all with the holes drilled in the end. And just trial fitting one of the pieces of wire, pushing it in a little bit too hard, just stabbed my finger with it. So just be careful. And technically there's one insulator, but all I'm going to do is add a piece of that on top just to give a bit of shape on the end. So I'll get some super glue, I'll put it on the wire. Small tiny dip. And shove it in. And I reckon if I just cut it to start with initially in half of that. So we'll start with a length of about 3/4 centimetre or so. Sticking out will be enough, and I can use it to mount it and then trim it off. So you can see where we're going with that. So back in a sec. Okay, so now we have 7 tiny little marshmallows on a brass stick. So that will act as the insulators, and what I'm just going to do now is make some tiny little things so that I can stick them on the top just to add a bit of definition to them. Again, easy. All I'm going to do, I'm not even going to measure these ones, is just about 1 millimetre or so. There's one. Two. Not accurate, don't need to be. You're never going to get that close to them. It's just that you don't need to do them, but I know that they're there. Just a little extra little bit of shape on the top, to me, will make a bit of difference. How many rod? That's 5, 6. Come back here. Don't glue yourself on there. 6, 7. These are no doubt going to be fiddly, awkward, and going to stick to everything. So for this I'm going to use the polystyrene cement. So just a spot of glue on the top of the insulator. It's probably too much. piece of styrene. And that just, I think you can see that there, just gives a shape to the top of the insulator pot. Just so it's not just around. Exciting viewing, isn't it? It's roughly centred according to my eye. That is them. So now we have 7 completed insulators ready to drop onto the poles. So all I'm going to do now, you won't need to watch, is just plot where I want the insulators to go, drill a hole through the cross rail, and we'll be ready for gluing in. So I'll be back shortly once I've completed that little job. Right, so fixing on, quite simple. Grab an insulator, there you've got your holes all drilled, super glue on the wire, get your pole and feed it through. Simple as that. And the wire that sticks out the bottom again, in a minute I shall just trim the bottom off so it just sticks out the bottom. And there we have the first completed lamppost. And I think that looks quite good. This one has a few more on it. There's a couple from the bottom, on the bottom one. Of course, this is going to fight me because I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. There's one. Doesn't matter if they're sitting at wonky angles. The real ones were sitting at wonky angles as well. So. bottom two. And now the three easy ones from the top. I'm just going to trim in slightly first. And the last one. So there we have it. Bring this piece of paper in there. I think that, I know these are white, but I'm not sure whether they should be white or brown. I can't really see, obviously it's silhouetted against the sky, but I might just leave them white for just a bit of contrast in colour. So I'm just going to touch up the little bits of brass with some rusty colour paint. And then it's good for planting on the layout. And there we go. So next view hopefully will be them both working on the layout rather than one. I'm just going to go away and double check the LEDs and plant them. I'll see you on the layout.